Gentleman's time has expired. Chair, and I recognize the gentleman from South Carolina, Mr. Wilson.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and I want to thank each of you for your service. It's humbling to be in your presence, and what a difference you make, and how important it is where we are today, sadly in a conflict we did not choose, and that is dictators with rule of gun invading democracies with rule of law, and what we can do to deter, and that's your field. And we saw, sadly, dictator war criminal Putin to invade Ukraine on February 24, 2022, under the theory that Ukraine doesn't exist. Then we know that the puppets of Iran invaded Israel on October 7, 2023, under the theory that Israel doesn't exist from the river to the sea. But it's just so important that we be as strong as we can for peace through strength to deter the Chinese Communist Party that claims, of course, Taiwan does not exist. There's a parallel there, and it's before us, and so what you're doing is just so important. And with that in mind, I want to thank all of you for your service, and I had the opportunity last year to have my third visit in the Republic of Korea to visit at Camp Humphreys. What a world-class facility that is. I was there when the groundbreaking occurred, and then to go back and see this facility, a $10.8 billion investment, 90% paid for by the very appreciative people of the Republic of Korea. And the American people need to know that nearly almost $10 billion was spent by the people of Korea to appreciate having an American presence there, which is a deterrence to the maniac that's in charge of Pyongyang. Keeping that in mind, I visited with troops from South Carolina, and it's just so important that we remain ironclad in supporting the people of Korea with the instability of, indeed, the regime in Pyongyang. And we have 28,000 troops in Korea, and the message of that is to protect Korea, of course, but Japan, all of our interests in the Pacific, which are so critical. And with that, indeed, General Brunson, I'm very grateful myself that I'm the only member of Congress who's actually been to Pyongyang. I was on a delegation in 2003, and so I saw, again, firsthand, the oppression of the people of North Korea and how sad that is. But Kim Jong-un has laid out a plan to advance missile technology of North Korea, and he's proceeding with this year 8 ballistic missiles that are being developed that possibly could reach the United States. With that in mind, and we also know the increasing relationship between North Korea and war criminal Putin, with North Korea sending troops to kill Ukrainians with the technology that indeed war criminal Putin is providing to North Korea for ultimately the ability to attack the United States. With this in mind and the strengthening ties with war criminal Putin and the Chinese Communist Party, General, what actions can we take to minimize the risk?
Congressman, thank you for the question. As a son of a Sergeant Major retired from Manning, South Carolina, I appreciate this question today. The first thing I'd like to say is that the Korean people are incredibly resilient, as noted in the constitutional crisis that was occurring recently, now resolved. Expect a new presidential election on the 3rd of June. They also provide for us, as you mentioned, an environment wherein we can build readiness across the joint force. And I've seen that in the short 90 days that I've been in command, whether it be Marines coming or a carrier strike group coming to the peninsula. And so those things are absolutely sound, and I thank the Korean people for what they provide for us. As Admiral Paparo mentioned, the things are going there. We can see it very well. We can see, we can sense, we can understand, we can track, we can even target things that are going. We do not, however, but we can see that. What's most important, as Admiral Paparo said, is what's coming back. The technological development that they're able to almost cut in half in terms of developing the ballistic missile technology, to develop air vehicles for their missiles, all those things that they're getting back in terms of the ability to jam in the West Sea, which has now made that a contested area. I think that's what we keep our eyes on, and we deter that by continuing to bring those strategic assets to bear in the KTO.
And I'm grateful to see a son of Clarendon County do well. And Admiral, just a point, I appreciate Donald Trump naming the Indo-PACOM, and I appreciate every effort made to work with our defense allies of India, what a great ally they can be, and particularly with the development of an industrial base of their own, not to be depending on war criminal Putin for inferior
Gentleman's
Russian
time's
equipment.